Hello and welcome to your reading. My name is Rowan. If you are new here, I hope you stay. If you are one of my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. I love and appreciate everything that you tell me and that you do. Alright, so let's get in today. And I wanted to talk about a reading that I did the other day, and my phone actually died in the middle of it, so I lost the whole reading. So I'm just gonna channel about it for a while. I may or may not do cards. But this message is about somebody that experienced someone deeply betraying them or doing harm to them in a way that seriously affected their lives that you didn't expect from this person, and it's because they were given wrong information about you and acted on it without even consulting you. They believed somebody else over you. Now, the way that Spirit brought this to my attention initially is through a documentary that I watched the other day, and it was about some famous bull rider, and the bull rider was talking about how it was one of his, it was a very serious, I guess, I don't know what you call it, whatever that is, tournament? I don't know, but it was a really big tournament, and he rode this bull, and it broke his neck, and he ended up adopting the bull because he didn't blame it at all. He was oh, he was just doing his job and I was doing my job, and now I'd like to retire together. And he was friends with it, and he took care of it and petted it in the field all the time, and they just have a nice retirement together now. And I was getting that this person who did harm to you is the bull, and somebody else sent them towards you to do a job that seriously harmed you. And they're coming back in to try to get this cushy retirement with you. And what that would translate to, I guess, is getting you to absolve them of their guilty feelings. But I'm not 100% convinced that this person has really sat with themselves. I'm not sure that they're apologizing for your benefit, is what I mean. And some other things that I was getting about this situation is that this bull person has come off very egotistical in the past. Now, they might be a Taurus, but I really don't feel like that's for everybody. Just take it if it resonates. And, if something doesn't fit, if this isn't your story, don't try to make it fit. Trust your intuition over anything I say, obviously. And, just know that I'm reading for a lot of people right now. But this person is someone that you had a lot of love for in the past. They had a lot of love for you too, but it's they believed whatever this rumor was. And the person who sent them was a narcissist, for sure. I definitely got that vibe. Now, this bull person was sent by the narcissist to shut down your throat chakra. And this has been an ongoing theme, I guess, that has come up in a lot of readings that I've been doing, because this is a big deal for the collective right now. This is a big trauma that a lot of people are overcoming to kind of help the world heal in a different way in this next era, I guess. Now, these two were cooperating together to shut you down about a very real trauma that you experienced, and you were about to overcome something. You worked extremely hard on something, and even though you went through whatever this trauma was, I'm getting this last 100 meters of the race energy where you're giving it your all, you're pushing as hard as you can, and it's this bull came in the last 100 meters and destroyed you, and it's taken you years to get back to the point where you're even close to where you were, in whatever way this is for you in this situation. And that's why it's so ridiculous, I think, that this bull person is coming in mostly for their benefit, to get some kind of allowance from you that it was okay that they did this. And Spirit is really indicating that you should stand up for yourself to this person, and that you don't owe them anything. Not in the sense that they want it. Just remember that closure is something you give yourself, And this is a situation where it's really important to practice radical acceptance. If you're unfamiliar with that, radical acceptance is the idea that nothing could have gone differently. There's nothing you can do different at this time. It is what it is. And the only thing that you can do about this to give yourself any relief is to accept that it exists and that it is, and you can only change yourself in response to it. So, to me, radical acceptance is always this energy of just completely surrendering to the fact that this exists and you must move forward anyway. And it's a tough energy, don't get me wrong, it's very tough. But that's the only way that you can... I know this says compete, but I'm getting complete. Now, I think that compete is coming up because I was talking about that last 100 meters, and I feel like you are almost at the point that you were at when that happened now. Like, you've recovered to this point. And Spirit is really indicating that you've bypassed a lot of danger. This came up in reverse. To get to this point. You've overcome death. I mean, I really feel like people looked away from situations that had the potential to end you. It's either they had the potential to, or it's like you were in serious need or serious danger, and people just didn't act like it was a big deal. But this potentiality was absolutely there. Like, honestly, it's a really disgusting energy to me that they've done this to you. And I feel like this has been a huge injustice to you. And I just want you to hear that, because I feel like nobody has talked about how you needed safeguarded. Like, you deserved this, but you didn't get this. You gave yourself that. And I feel like they've framed it as, oh, this was just a challenge you had to overcome, or like people talk to you that way. And you're like, this wasn't a freaking challenge. This was an attempt on my life. You know, like, I don't feel like people are seeing this in the light that it deserves to be seen in. And I'm sorry for that. And I think that this is a point now where, like, it's like you went to, like, they're showing me a pendulum swinging, okay? So it's like the pendulum swings to the extreme, and now you're finally back on the upswing. And you're not going to go back down. I feel like it's off after that. Like, this energy has accumulated, and now it's dissipating. You've observed what you needed to observe. And I'm hearing don't poke the hippo again. And the reason I say that is because if you're new here, I posted a reading maybe a week ago. And it was something about hippo energy. Like, don't poke the hippo or something. And it's really, this is related. You know, the don't poke the hippo reading had to do with somebody who was saying that you asked for too much, but you really didn't ask for hardly anything. It's a very strange energy. Now, there's a specific energy that Spirit showed me in a vision whenever I initially was reading on this. They showed me a tiger, and it was laying in wait in the jungle. And, you know, a tiger is a really powerful animal, but they kept showing me this tiger, and it's like it was told not to use its full power. So it was just watching all this prey go by, and it was like, well, I was told not to be dangerous. I was told not to be powerful. So it just lays there, and it's just getting skinnier and skinnier and, like, wasting away. And this is, like, kind of what these people were doing to you. And, you know, they were telling you not to use your voice, not to use your abilities, whatever it is, to be yourself, stand up for yourself, achieve the things that you're supposed to achieve, something like that. And it's like, spiritually, I feel like you did waste away, and then you finally began unblocking this throat chakra. Like, finally started crying again, I'm hearing, because I feel like somebody here didn't cry for a long time. And it was, like, very overwhelming, like a flood, but then it was over, and it was clear, you know? And I feel like that clarity now is what's allowing you to see how ridiculous this whole thing has been. And how favorably things can go in the future now that you're yourself again. Now that you're seeing these people for who they are and able to remove them. But yeah, favorable and shine. And the reason that you're about to be shining is because you will be returning to some kind of childhood interest that, like, literally the devil wanted to keep you from achieving or getting into, criticize. There were people around you who did not want you to be good at something, which is insane. And it's because they thought that you could go to infinity with it. Like, you're extremely skilled at something, really naturally talented, or you've studied this thing. Extreme expertise is what I'm getting here. Extreme capability. And there were forces here that really tried to keep you from that. And you're going to be returning to it. Wow. You're going to be... To talk about a race again, they keep talking about a race here. They're saying erupting out of the gate. Like, you're done waiting. Yeah. Observation in reverse. This is... coming up with the rabbit energy. Rabbit is very connected to childhood. It's connected to fears, the freeze response, all of these different things. And I feel like tiger and rabbit are overseeing this. You may want to work with the bull as well as an animal that will kind of oversee this, because the bull helps channel inner power. This bull person is going to be talking a lot about how intense everything was for them. But you're going to hear how little they talk about how intense it probably was for you. And it's because they're not even thinking about that. Pay attention to those things. Now, if you're new here, readings that I post are timeless. So at the time I'm posting, this is September. And it doesn't matter when it is that you watch. It may have already happened for you. For some of you, it's about to happen. For some, it's already happened. But this is like this is just something within your energy that I'm getting. So, Spirit, how should the collective move forward? What's the right way to carry on after this? This has been a wild ride for you. What does this, I guess, happy retirement look like for you? I'm hearing you don't need to retire the bull. Because this is a little different than what they showed. It's interesting because they showed me, like, in that documentary, like, the perfect outcome. It was a bull that had no ego that was being forced to do its job, right? And that's why the rider didn't blame him at all. He's like, well, it was my choice to ride you. I ended up, kind of putting you in the ring, and it is what it is. But for you, it's the opposite. For you, it's like somebody else was in charge of this whole thing, and they're in denial about it. They're saying that in a perfect world, you imagine an outcome where everybody could get along. I feel like you actually missed this bull person, or you missed who you thought they were. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that, like, you should not forgive them, but forgiveness doesn't always look like that person continuing to be in your life. Rescuing, taking something on as a project or responsibility. Don't do that. This is not a person for that. Your clairvoyance might have you having dreams about forgiving this person or hanging out with this person the way it used to be. And Spirit is saying this is like that person's energy that they're kind of like projecting towards you. It doesn't mean that you have to do that. So whatever you choose, you must choose what's actually going to make your life good. Okay? You don't want people around who don't make you feel like you're not enough. I have a card here about past life agreements that need undone to become sovereign. So you may want to do that for yourself. You may want to look at agreements around betrayal and speak positive affirmations over yourself. Some of you may want to do some candle work about this. There's somebody that's been nesting in your energy, especially your crown. So if you've been struggling with your spiritual gifts, struggling with your inspiration, or your just your ability to connect with the divine, just know that this bull person was always very jealous of that. And they've kind of been nesting in your energy since you were young, I'm hearing, for a lot of you, if you knew them when you were younger. And it's like, it's time to like remove them and kick them out of your energy. Once you do, there's going to be some kind of windfall. Windfall doesn't have to be money, but I feel like for a lot of you, it will be ease. This will be like something that makes your life easier, whatever it is for you. You were 100% honest and vulnerable with everyone. Spirit is acknowledging that. I'm hearing bills. This person, and there's something here about like somebody wanting you to pay their bills or something. I don't know what that's about. Take it if it resonates. If not, that's okay. It's for someone. Whoops. Spirit just threw all my cards on the floor. Okay, we will get these as our closing messages. This person is about to start their spiritual awakening, but you've been on yours for a while. It is not your responsibility to do the work for this person. This person was fighting you instead of fighting for you, and they need to work for it. That's your closing message from Spirit. You guys have done more than enough, and you deserve the new good things that are coming to you. So that's what I have for you guys. If you would like to work with me one-on-one and get a personal reading that's a lot more specific than this, a Reiki healing or an animal communication, I do those only through my website, Elderbeingsintuition.com. I don't ever book through any kind of social media, WhatsApp, the comments here, none of that. It's all through the website. Just know that, you know, I do have scammers, and I had some people hack my Instagram, so I don't have Instagram anymore. If it looks like me, it's not me on Instagram, okay? So only trust my website right now. Only trust this and have what I put in the description. All right, that's what I have for you guys. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.